video and audio. We have Mr. Jeff Voigt and his good services here this evening to record this, and a copy of this will be made available and put into the Town of Port Royal records. First, we'll begin with, as we usually do, an invocation and pledge of allegiance. If you're so inclined, you can stand. First, I'd like to do the prayer. I'll do the prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we give you thanksgiving for this town. We give you thanksgiving for our freedom. We give you thanksgiving for having people who care. We pray that you will help our words and thoughts be soft, sweet, and kind, because one day we might have to eat those words. We pray that we can find kindness, that we can find healing, that we can find your good grace in our lives today and forevermore. In your name, amen. Amen. Pledge of Allegiance. Who'd like to lead us? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Town Manager, would you like to call the roll, or I can call the roll because you don't have it?
No, I've got one.
Okay.
Okay, I've called the roll for the February 28th, 2025 Port Royal Town Council meeting. Mayor Long.
Present.
Vice Mayor Chenault.
Present.
Councilmember Wilkerson.
Present.
Councilmember Golden.
Present.
Councilmember Carpenter. Noted as absent at the present time.
Mr. Carpenter, his mother has a very severe medical problem, and he is, I think, this evening taking her or accompanying her with a doctor's appointment, and he might be late or he might not be able to attend at all. So we call this meeting to order. We have a quorum present. This is a regularly scheduled Port Royal Town Council meeting. The council at our organizational meeting of January voted to have the fourth Friday of each month become the regular town council meeting date. Today is February 28th, 2025. It is now 6:02 p.m. Next order of business is, let's see, is it, Mr. Manager, is it okay for the mayor to make this motion?
Yes, you can make a motion.
Thank you. The mayor moves that Council Member Angela Golden be allowed to participate remotely in the Port Royal February 28th council meeting due to her recent illness in accordance with Title 2.2, Section 3708.3 of the Code of Virginia, and said motion.
I think she has it on her.
And said motion to participate remotely, that this motion be reflected in the official minutes of the town of Port Royal. Would someone like to second that motion?
I'll second.
Thank you. Donna Wilkerson seconded the motion. Discussion? Any discussion? More time, any discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Okay, Monica Chenault, how'd you vote?
Aye.
And Donna Wilkerson?
Aye.
The mayor votes aye. And Ms. Golden, I assume that you vote aye?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. The motion passed unanimously. Thank you. Next, we have public comment. We have, our good citizen, Mr. Guzik. Yes,
Do
ma'am.
we have any amendments to the
No.
agenda first
Oh, thank you, thank you.
and call the meeting to order?
Yeah, we just called the meeting to
Okay.
order. Amendment, any amendments to the agenda?
I'd like to add that we discussed the Thursday, the November and December dates.
Okay, that would be an action item. Under, that'd be page 2, and 2-15, we'll make it 02-15.5, action.
We got that.
Huh?
Go to the next page. We got 2.2-15.5, 2-15.6. It's a blank line. So we don't want to do 2.15.6. I think it's what you gave me for the next one.
Yeah, I haven't got that.
They're printed both sides.
Well, this is page 1, this is 2, and it's on page 3. There you go.
Okay. Well, yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So discuss and act on meeting dates for November and December.
Due
correct?
to the holiday, yeah.
Any other changes?
2:15.7.
Any other changes? Hearing none. All in favor of the of adopting the amended agenda, say, no, we can't do that. We'll go roll call. Mr. Nolt, are you in favor of
Aye.
adopting Mr. Wilkerson?
Aye.
The mayor votes yes. And Angela votes yes. Motion adopted unanimously. Okay, Mr. Guzik, we saved the best for last.
I have 2 items. I wanted to, one item for, historic portfolio. Through the month of February and March, on Saturdays from 10 to 2 at the museum and the schoolhouse, we're celebrating Caroline County students who are putting their art, their poetry, writings, all having to do with Black History Month. And so it's a great exhibit over there. So I wanted to obviously make sure that the council knew about it. And I wanted to get permission if we could put this up in the window in the front here or anywhere to show it. I put it up at the post office, but is that possible to?
Yes, if you, well, first, members of council, is the council agreeable, and we don't need a motion on this, just by consensus, is the council agreeable to Mr. Guzik putting that in the information?
Yeah. I don't have a problem with it, but the window's gone. Where we would
Yeah.
put it.
Is it possible to put it just kind of, isn't there a window here with a blind, just kind of to stick it on the inside of the window?
Can we get to it?
Yeah.
Okay.
From the town manager's office.
I didn't know that the window in the post
Like the
office.
signboard, I think.
No, the window's still in the post. the
Not
thing's
that
still in the
there, we're
post
talking
office.
here.
There was a signboard, wasn't there before?
Yeah,
what
we're
used to be.
supposed to be getting one
Okay, we're
sometime.
talking about two
In
different.
place of that,
He's
just put
talking
it,
about the one
tape
that
it
was
just on the
removed to
inside
put the windows in. So I guess we just take it
That's
up,
why I taped to the doors.
okay.
you know.
Is it the consensus then of town council that Mr. Guzik can put as many copies wherever he wants, be it the post office, the town hall, or wherever? Ms. Schnolt, agree?
I do, aye.
Ms. Wilkerson, agree?
Aye.
Ms. Long, agreed. Ms. Angela Golden,
Aye.
thank you.
And I encourage you to go by, it's really nice that the kids.
And what's the date on that again?
Got involved. It's the rest of the month of March, every Saturday from 10 to 2. And the students' parents are coming, their families, and it's the schoolhouse and the museum are open.
And we are promoting it on the Facebook page, as you know,
I
probably.
think so, yeah. Oh, yeah, I put it on.
And I did too.
And you did too. You don't. The second for, Historic Port Royal is, they're selling t-shirts. So it's a really modest t-shirt, says Historic Port Royal on the front, and in the back is the town flag. And so it's a navy blue shirt. It's $30, all sizes. So those are being sold at the museum. And so I encourage you to pick up your t-shirt. The second item I wanted to mention is that at a past meetings, I think 2 or 3 meetings ago, announced, I think I might have sent an email or so. I just wanted to follow up that the council had voted or given the town manager permission to investigate about getting, it was like a, you spend it or lose it kind of option with the gazebo. Allison had talked about a gazebo for the town square. And then there was the idea of finishing the windows. So I just wanted to make sure that.
Okay, yes,
The windows were finished. The windows were finished. The new window came in, the one that was defective. They finished up everything. I have talked with Cooper's Painting today that he's going to start looking at the weather on Monday to see if he can get the town power washed and also start painting the town hall. Well, not the town power wash, the town hall power wash. Though that's being paid for with ARPA funds, the gazebo and the new town shed were ordered through Old Hickory, and I talked with the guy at the, I forgot his name, the guy that has the U-Haul place who also does the Old Hickory stuff in Bowling Green. I spoke with him yesterday, and they should be calling me momentarily. It takes 4 to 6 weeks to make the stuff. We're already past the 4-week mark. So the next time he calls me, I will be calling Joe Fortune to coordinate with him because he has to be there for the delivery.
Great. Yeah, and then if there's any input from the town on placement of the gazebo or where in our town square, I know Matt and I would love to be part of any kind of committee for that.
I think it's already decided. We had a committee. We were going to expand the playground and the gazebo, and we've ordered park benches and other things, and it's going to be strategically placed. We also have in mind to order several trees to offer shade. Not a lot of trees, just several trees to offer shade around the playground area. And we're going to replace all of the, I don't know what you call them, that little tiny parking lot on the edge of Town Green, those wooden planks that go around it and that go around the playground. Those are all going to be replaced because some of them are dry rotten, and we're ordering new mulch to put down, and we're going to order, and this is all with ARPA funds. We have in play to order several more pieces of playground equipment, and to make it nice so that maybe people want to come out. I don't know if you want to give a kid a birthday party or whatever, just something for the community to use.
thank you. And all this, the genesis of which is from obviously motions, resolutions that were done. What month do you think, Angela? Done in November, December?
The money had to be allotted by December 31st, and Allison let me spearhead it, and I was talking with John about it. I have all of the invoices and everything, and I talked with John. I think we're going to meet next Thursday to get the signatures to take to the accountant so she could cut the checks to give to send out to these people. The gazebo and the gazebo and the shed, they've already been paid for. So all we're waiting, they've been paid in full with ARPA funds, and we're just waiting for the delivery of those. And everything else is all itemized, all down. I have all invoices and everything, and of course I'll be sharing them with John, and if anybody else wants to see them, that's fine. But I think that with the money that we had left over for ARPA funds that had to be allotted, I did everything in mind with being community oriented so that everybody can enjoy what's happening, as well as everything that we did with the town hall. So that's where we're at.
Thank you. Monica Schnook, you have a comment?
So this was approved by council? In
Yes, it
meeting
was.
with a motion?
Absolutely.
I just wasn't here, and when you were saying it, you said Allison came to you and
No,
let you spearhead it as a
before you
committee.
came back on council. This was all done before you came back on council.
Right, but you said Allison asked you to spearhead it, so that's why I got a little confused.
Yes, Allison asked me to spearhead it, but everything has been voted on by council and approved.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions for Ms. Golden on this subject? Ms. Wilkerson? Mr. Town Manager?
I'll be meeting with Ms. Golden next week. We were gonna meet today, but we had a lot to get done today before the council meeting. And so we'll be meeting, on the allocation of funds, budgets, things like that, just to make sure it all falls within the available ARPA funds. And I'm sure it's being done and done well, and it has been authorized by the council as I understand it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Any other comments from the public? We just got Mr. Guzik here, representing the citizens of Fort Roll. Next is the introduction of Mr. John Anzavino as interim town manager, clerk, treasurer, and zoning administrator too.
Yes. Well, thank you, Mayor, and thank you, members of council, for having confidence in the Berkeley Group and I guess ending up with me as your interim town manager. I did send an introductory email to those folks who I had email addresses for. Before I leave tonight, I want to make sure I've got everybody's email address. I know I've got the mayor's, I've got Ms. Schnall's, but I don't think I have yours, Ms. Wilkerson.
Oh, okay.
So I do a lot of work in the off time by email with the councils that I work with and the boards that I work with. And so I want to introduce myself particularly to you because you didn't get the email. I am John Anzavino. I was thinking about it today, and this will be, I guess, my 49th year of some form of public service. I am a native of Fort Lauderdale. Went to undergraduate school in Southern West Virginia, graduate school at the University of Georgia. First job as a regional planner and deputy director of the Regional Planning District Commission in the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia, where I serviced 9 towns and 3 counties as a circuit rider. I migrated there to the governor's office of West Virginia to serve as a state planning coordinator. Didn't like state government at all. Didn't like the politics of state government, so I became a county administrator. I served in Amelia County for 6.5 years. I was the county administrator in Caroline County for 4 years and was the lead for the construction of the park behind the high school. Also for the initiation of the public water and sewage system in Carmel Church. Worked with very many fine board members while I was here in Caroline County. Was recruited to the town of Warrenton, where I served as town manager for 13 years. And if you've been to Warrenton, Warrenton is a really nice community. And our family really loved it there, and it was, we still call it home. Retired right after 9/11 from local government and went to work for a national consulting firm, serviced local governments, state governments, regional agencies throughout the country with human resources, financial analysis, organizational management, executive recruiting, and a wide range of other things that we did. We only served the public sector. Worked on projects from Louisiana to Los Angeles to Illinois, and a lot of projects here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. I was the East Coast director for the company when I retired in 2017. From there, I laid low for a while, and I've since been working with communities as an interim manager. I served in the town of Purcellville up in Loudoun County twice. I served as the interim executive director of the Front Royal Warren County Economic Development Authority when there was a lot of embezzlement that had been identified, and the former director is now in federal prison. I served as interim county administrator in Nottoway County, where the county administrator had served for 48 years and really was kind of coasting the last 15 or so. Also served as the interim town manager in Bowling Green last year. Was it last year? No, it was the year before. And then my most recent gig was the interim assistant town manager in Colonial Beach, where I was dealing with trying to help clean up after the wastewater treatment plant kind of went south, and they put 1 million gallons of untreated wastewater into the Potomac on 4th of July weekend. I turned down several jobs as interim because I'm getting a little bit long in my tooth, and I don't want to stay away from home overnight. And so when Port Royal came up, it's about an hour drive up, an hour drive back. I live in Urbana, which is about twice as big as Port Royal, but it's another port town along the Rappahannock. And I was telling the mayor that we live just off the Rappahannock on a creek. I grow oysters. And that's a little bit. Oh, I'm also chairman of Growth and Opportunities Board for Region 6, which is based in Fredericksburg, which provides grants to the private sector and to public entities for economic development. I'm the chairman of the Middlesex County Economic Development Authority, and I'm also on the Board of Zoning Appeals in the town of Urbana. So that's kind of a little bit about me. Been married for 52 years, same person. We couldn't find anybody else who would put up with either one of us, but it's been a good 52 years, to be 53 in July. I do want to note that I have prepared something for you. I want to give you some thoughts, my observations on the town, how I see my role working with the town as your interim town manager. And then I wanted to go through some major issues that I think the town needs to work on based upon what I've seen. And I'm going to hand these out. These did not come in your packet. I apologize for that. I'm typically real good at getting things out in packets on time, but I got behind the 8 ball on a couple of other projects, just trying to get acclimated to the town of Port Royal, because you don't have very many documented procedures. And so I'm having to kind of feel my way in the limited amount of time that I have. So this is that. Just run through it very quickly. And Ms. Golden, I'll give you a copy of this on Thursday when we meet. It's okay with you.
That's more than fine.
Well, I've known Port Royal for a number of years, pass through here all the time on the way to Northern Virginia. We take the back way up. I'm up 17, 301, across Route 3. So I knew it when I was here in Caroline County as your administrator, when Herb Posner was here. Remember Mr. Posner very well. We had a number of discussions. But some thoughts on the town. You know, I think Port Royal, this town has a lot of potential. You know, you've got the designated historic district, and it's not just a recent designation. This has been in place for quite a while. And so that's pretty significant that a town this small has done that. You've got the Rappahannock River. You've got the pier into the river. The pier is a real asset to this community, and Joe Fortune and I talk about it quite a bit because he fishes off of it. He's responsible for maintaining it. You've got the wildlife reserve on the, I never get this right, southern or eastern end of town, depending upon how you look at the eastern, okay, on the Rappahannock. And you're at the junction of 2 major U.S. highways, US 301, US 17. And 301, when I was down in Bowling Green, we were working on some improvements for the Bowling Green bypass with VDOT. I learned that, we kind of thought this was happening anyway, but I learned that it's in VDOT's, bag of tricks. They consider that US 301 is kind of the alternate I-95, and you can certainly see the traffic that backs up at your traffic signal here during summer months and, peak holiday periods. That's an asset. It's pain during those times, but it's an asset because you got traffic through the town and people see the town. And then you got your water system. Not everybody's got a water system. And, your water system operated by the county seems to be doing very well. I know it's been essentially rebuilt. And that's credit to the community. So those are some of the assets that I've seen. Plus, there's one other thing. There's strong town pride. I think, if you live in a small town, you naturally like living in a small town. But here in Port Royal, even some of the discussion this evening, I can feel the pride that the folks have in the community. And that doesn't mean that it's always harmonious, but there's pride. People want the best for this town. So that's a real asset because you live in a bigger community, people don't care. They just have expectations and they don't really care about the community. You're small with limited resources. This is the smallest budget I've ever managed. And working in Front Royal, Warren County at the Economic Development Authority, I had a part-time employee up there. And believe it or not, I could not leave her in the office when I left the office for a meeting because she was under suspicion of being in cahoots with the individual who embezzled the money. So I had to ask her to leave and lock the door. But very small staff and, worked through a lot of financial challenges there. Your budget is in relatively good shape for a small community. You've got a lot of money in deposits for a community this size. We need to sort out, I think, where those CDs, how much money is for each fund, what's allocated and what's not, but that's something which is going to be a little bit longer term. And then my last thought on Port Royal, and this is true down in Urbana too, because Port Royal is small, we all need to get along. It's very important to have good communication. And as I've said many times, differences of opinion are healthy. It brings fresh ideas to the table, but holding grudges is not. And I can see that just at the beginning of this meeting that everybody's smiling and everything, seems to be working along pretty well. I hope that we can maintain that spirit of cooperation and keep the town, get focused on what you want to do as a town, and then move in that direction because it's important for you to keep doing that. Now, how do I see my role in working with the town? Well, I've managed staffs as big as 200. I'm not managing anybody except, and I don't manage anybody. I work with folks. And Joe Fortune is the guy I'm working with right now, as well as you folks as elected officials. You've got some really good cooperative, well, they're not cooperative, they're contract relationships to do your financial work. That's really good stuff. And as I said earlier, Caroline County operating your water system is a good deal too, because it's hard to find certified operators these days. So, my role in working with you have, I hate to sound like a capitalist, but you've been able to only allocate a certain number of hours to my time. So I've got 10 hours per week to serve you. And believe me, during those 10 hours, they're not all spent here. I will be spending them working at home. Matter of fact, I've done a lot of work at home for you already. But I do have limited time and I do need your help. Okay. Anytime that you want to reach out to me, I'm an accessible individual. You can reach me on my cell phone. And my cell phone number is 804-381-8455. I'm going to work on completing the key functions of the clerk and the treasurer's role, that's finance, and planning and zoning. And I've already been doing quite a bit of that. Form some healthy observations on some of your processes and some of your ordinances as to how they're structured and how they might need to be updated. I will be here and I've worked with, Ms. Chenault's gotten this posted. Right now, we've got it posted on the front door of when I'll be here the rest of, most of the rest of the month. I did want to note to you that, and this was planned long before I thought I would be coming to Port Royal. I do a lot of stuff with my son-in-law, daughter, and 2 grandchildren, and they live in the West End of Richmond, over in Twin Hickory, out by the mall. But we do 2 major vacations a year, and so this year we're going to be out of the country from March 27th to April 5th. And I'll probably be inaccessible. So I will not be here for your March 28th meeting, and I apologize for that if that creates a problem, but this has been planned well before that I ever thought about coming here. I serve all council members equally. Okay, I don't take sides on any particular issue. I don't gossip. I just do the work. I always took pride in dealing with controversies with our governing bodies and giving either side of the controversy the same information and making sure that everybody understood where I stood, which was right down the middle. I also officiated high school and college football for 28 years. And, you know, a lot of people don't like referees, but you call them as you see them, you do the best job you can, and that's what I do in working with governing bodies. I'm approachable and responsive to folks. I like to get back to folks within 24 hours. If I don't get them, if they don't get me on the phone right away, or they send me an email. So just be mindful that it may take me a couple of hours to get back to you, but I'll get back to you. Please contact me at any time. Within the memo, I've given you my phone number again. I will when I get settled in. I'm not really settled in yet. This is my 3rd week here, and unfortunately, Miss Golden's been ill, and she's had she hasn't had access to the passwords and things that I really need to get into your IT system. So when I get in there, I'll be dealing with the emails that are backed up. I'll be dealing with whatever's in there, and I'm sure there's a lot of information in there. But I'll be providing you detailed reports with alternatives and recommendations as a professional manager. How you react to those, it's up to you. It's your town. It's not my town. I work for you. But I'm going to give you my best professional judgment as to how you might proceed in resolving a particular issue. And that's based upon my number of years of experience. I respect each of you as an elected official. You folks, you don't get paid. They don't get paid down in Urbana. And that says a lot about who you are. You want to serve the people of the community. And it's in local government right now, and I think it always has been, was the purest form of public service. You're eyeball to eyeball with your constituents all the time, whether you're at the restaurant, whether you're at the gas station, whether you're out walking your dog, you see the folks, and they know who you are. It's not like a bigger city or a bigger town where they don't know who you are. They know who you are, and you're close to many of them. And so I know that you hear a lot of things, you get a lot of information. Sometimes it's contradictory, but sometimes you'll discuss that, and you'll have some very vigorous discussions about how you see different issues, see a side of a particular issue. But I respect you as an elected official, and I hope you'll respect me as well. I'll do my best not to surprise you. You know, I was surprised in one community, and I told the mayor this, and I told the vice mayor this, that I expected no surprises, and our staff would not surprise them. I got surprised 3 times, and the last time was the last time that they surprised me, because I told them we can't work like this. Okay? If you got something that you need to talk about, don't spring it on up in a council meeting. Bounce it off me, and maybe I can fix the problem before we get to a council meeting. When the new person is hired, And, you know, I'm telling you, I came in here and, you know, your records are in pretty good shape. You know, different people have different styles of filing and stuff. So, you know, you got to work through, you know, what's the mindset of this person? Why is this file here? Where is that? How do I get to it? But when the new person is hired, I'm going to leave them to the best of my ability with the time that I have, what I call a playbook, which will be a list of processes because I have no process. You know, I dug through the files to find out who the accountant is. I found out who the auditor is. I found their contact information, but there's nothing in one place. So for the new person coming in, when you do hire that individual, it's going to be good for them to have just the basic facts. And, you know, if I have the opportunity, I'll go over some of that with them. But I want them to come into the job and hit the ground running faster than I've been able to run. I do believe that based upon what you all have talked about, I think at your last council meeting, 30 hours per week ought to be a healthy dose of hours for getting the job done here. You know, 10 hours is not enough. I'll tell you that to really do it as well as it could be. That's why I'm going to need your help. If you gave me 30 hours, and Mr. Voigt knows because he's on town council over in Bowling Green. And even there, we had to work together pretty closely with council, but 30 hours, we ought to be able to get a pretty good job done here in Port Royal. I've identified some immediate issues to address, and I'm going to be working on some interim issues, which are maybe within the next 3 months, and then some longer term issues. And I've listed them out here in your memorandum. I think the most important things, the mayor asked me earlier today, what would be the 4 top issues? Well, you can see that there are many issues that are in the top tier. But if I were to say that the top 4 issues, first of all, is getting all the passwords and pins and equipment that the town needs. And I think I'll have all that tomorrow by 10:30. So that's great. Now we can go to work. Secondly, I think the town council agreeing to move forward with recruitment and selection of the new town manager. I'm not going to be here forever. You know, I think the extent of my engagement is going to be 3 or 4 months. Okay. And you'll be tired of me after 3 or 4 months and you'll need your permanent person. Okay. So that's in a recruitment process takes time. I've recruited for the city of Raleigh, for the city of Virginia Beach, for Fairfax County, the town of Exmoor, the town of Cape Charles, the town of Fishers, Indiana. I've done probably 225 professional recruitments at the local government, and we were contracted to do state level recruitments as well. We work with the Commonwealth to do that. This takes time. It takes your time, and to get it right is very important. So later on, we'll be talking a little bit about a profile and a job ad. But I think that's the second most, and maybe almost at the top of the list, is getting somebody on board here. Third is addressing your website. You've got a website, but it's not an interactive website. It doesn't have a lot of information on there. You know, I was talking to prospective business today. He said, well, I went to the website. I don't even know who the town council members are. Well, you're not on it. You should be, because people, your website serves as the window to the world for the town of Port Royal. You don't have to have an elaborate website like Fairfax County, but you can do some things well. You know, you can get contact information on there. You can get the town manager's contact information on there. You can get your names on there and how to contact you folks. You can post, well, you've got your minutes posted there. You've got your ordinances posted there. You can put on PDF business license applications so people can get the business license applications or any other form that they may need to do business with the town of Port Royal. So there are companies that do this. They do it relatively inexpensively. They specialize in local government, and I think that's a pretty high priority. And then I think the last thing or not the last thing. The fourth highest priority is identifying and selecting an individual or firm for on-call legal services. You know, you're a small town, 200 families, and it just seems like you ought to be able to resolve all your own issues, but the law is more and more complex. And surprisingly, Port Royal is held to the same standard as many major Virginia localities. The law applies equally to getting a lot of things done. And if you fall down, you suffer the same penalties. They don't give you a break because you're a small town. So occasionally you may need legal counsel. I know your former town attorney. I know her. I know she's decided to step aside. And so I think that's another priority that really is an immediate priority. And beyond that, I'll be working on these other things as I kind of indicated. I do have some reports to complete, to stay on the good side of DEQ. As soon as I get into the IT system, I'll be able to do that. Interim issues within the next 3 months, and I'll be working on these concurrently with some of these other issues when you prioritize them. We've got to get the budget underway. Okay, budget's due. It's got to be adopted by June 30th. So I'll be working on budget preparation and getting you a draft budget, hopefully sometime in April, public hearing maybe in May, and adoption in June, because you've got to have a budget. Your audits are, I know they're in process, and I've talked to your auditors. Actually, the fiscal 22 audit, they need some financial statements. And so I'm going to see if they're on one of the laptops. And if they are, those will go right to the auditor so that they can finish the 22 audit. The fiscal 23 audit was sent to the town in September of last year for comment, and nobody's ever commented on the audit. That's according to the auditor. I don't, it's probably maybe on the laptop. I haven't seen a hard copy. That means that we've still got 24 and 25, fiscal year 24 and 25 to deal with, but your auditor, assured me that she'll jump right on those, because if you're going to go for any grant applications, if we have any left in the United States after we go through all the budget reductions, you're going to need to have an audit. If you go for any USDA money, you've got to have an audit. So even at a town of 200 people. So we're going to have to get those done. And then I know this was in process, and I've got to do some more investigation on this, but I put this on the list. Completing selection for limited custodial service here in the building. I think your former manager had that underway. Actually, I saw a note in her projects that she was narrowing it down for somebody to begin in January. But I don't think that ever got fulfilled. So I'll be looking at that as well. Some longer term issues, and this is within that limited scope of time I have under the Berkeley agreement. Continue your ordinance revisions. I'm working on business licenses right now because it's renewal time, and you've got some folks coming in the door who want to locate here in Port Royal. In sorting through your zoning ordinance and first of all, your business professional occupational license is really simple. It's one page. It requires a site plan for a new business coming into town. Okay. But it doesn't say what level of site plan. And within the zoning ordinance, there are two different levels of site plans. And there's one which is for, I believe it's for a brand new business on an undisturbed site. That is it's a really professionally engineered design site plan. The other is a little less complicated, but we need to clean that up so we know which site plan goes to which type of business application. And your other ordinances, you've got a pretty healthy ordinance book. It's about 250 pages long, 268 pages long, I think it is, with zoning and subdivision there. Well, for example, the section dealing with the town charter, and the mayor and I discussed this. Town charter still says that you have 7 council members, even though you've gone to the General Assembly and that's been approved to have 5 council members.
Actually, if you were to go to legislative services, or even, if you will, Google Town of Fort Royal Charter, the corrected charter is available, and it states 5 council members.
But it needs to go into our ordinance and charter book because.
Our
That's what I'm
ordinances,
You're right, yeah, because you and I had that discussion last week. You told me you'd gone through the legislative process that's adopted, but your charter in the ordinance book still says 7.
the entire
Yeah,
set of
Yep.
ordinances.
but, you folks as council members shouldn't feel bad because this happens in small towns. You go to the town of Urbana's ordinance book, it's just as big as yours. It's just as out of date as yours. And it's hard to keep track of all those changes that are coming down from the legislature. And it's one of those things where you as a small town don't have the resources to be able to stay up to speed. Like you don't have a full-time town attorney to, track all this stuff. So we'll get to that, but it's something which really needs to be done.
The ultimate goal is to hire Unicode and have everything go into Unicode, and they will
Yep.
load it all up. Right now, we pass an ordinance, it goes maybe into the book,
Yep.
hopefully. And,
Well, when I was in Nottaway County, their book hadn't been updated for like 30 years. And it had Post-it notes in there, and it had torn pages, it had whiteout in the ordinance book, and that was the only ordinance book in the entire county that was supposed to be guiding the enforcement of the rules, regulations, and laws in Nottaway County. So yours isn't that bad. It just needs to be updated and needs to be brought up maybe to a more modern standard. And some of the inconsistencies corrected, but yeah, Municode can do that. There's a cost to that, of course. We'll take a look at that as part of the budget process.
Excuse me, I have a question on that, but Municode, you write everything and present it to them, they don't write it up for you.
No, they're not gonna read
Right.
that.
excuse me, I've worked with Unicode.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. We brought this to town council about 4, maybe 5 years ago, and communicated with Unicode. What they will do is, you give them, they will not write the ordinances for us.
Right,
right.
But we give them an ordinance, and they have a legal staff that will make sure the ordinance comports to the Code of Virginia.
right.
And basically, they don't necessarily write our ordinances, but they'll make sure that they comply with the
Right.
law and are written in a coherent manner.
But they don't write the ordinances. We've got to.
We have to provide the bulk of it.
Yeah.
But they will fine tune it.
I know that and I've talked about continuing ordinance revisions a little bit. That's a little bit longer term, identifying, working towards grant applications for the town for needs, particularly any historic district improvements that could be fostered. Maybe, I doubt we're gonna be able to find anything for recodification, but we can take a look at it. And then correcting any municipal building or municipal facility. Talking to the county about the water system and, what may need to be done in the future, how it's aging out, those types of things. We had and the mayor helped take care of this, but a couple of weeks ago, I got a report from Mr. Fortune that the supply line coming in the building here was frozen. That's not good. Fortunately, the line didn't split. But Joe took care of it with the mayor's guidance, and Joe and I met about it. And now there's an insulated box out there with a heat tape on it, which can be plugged in when the weather gets cold. The ultimate solution, which will be fairly expensive, I think, I'm just kind of ballparking that right now. The line actually comes up out of the ground and comes into the building above grade. It really ought to come in below surface and come into the building and then come up inside the building. That could be pretty expensive, but that's something you need to take a look at. There's also an issue I noticed here. We had some snow on the roof and your sidewalk out front, your rink, can get a little bit icy. I salted it when I was here, I guess, last week. Um, But you've got an overhang, there's no diversion of water coming off the roof. So if you have a heavy rain and you got people coming into a town council meeting, they're gonna get soaked. In the winter, you're gonna have ice on the sidewalk all the time, and you're gonna have to maintain that. So we need to take a solution, take a look at a solution. for that.
Actually, there's an ordinance that was passed, and Vice Mayor Chenault made the motion that the town spend up to, doesn't have to be, but up to $2,000
Okay,
to have a roofer put in a gutter that would take care of that issue.
I'm not as familiar as I should be with your historic district ordinance yet, but do you have any architectural?
We have
standards?
zero. We have zero.
Okay, so we can do that, because I know I was in a historic town hall when I was in Warrenton. We had to go before the architectural review.
There is none.
Okay, okay. Well, that kind of summarizes a little bit of who I am, what I see as some of the priorities for the town and how I want to work with you. So, I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Questions for Mr. Ansvino? If not,
No, I'm just very happy that you're here and we appreciate your guidance during this transition period.
Ms. Wilkerson,
No questions right now. I'll go home and think about it.
Ms. Golden? Ms. Golden, any questions for Mr. Anzavino? Okay,
I don't hear any
Uh,
noise,
the
period.
mayor has a comment or two.
Okay.
So listening to Mr. Anzavino, I think you can appreciate that this town is very, very, very fortunate to have him. And would note that we obtained his services at a rate that was a little bit below what, maybe quite a bit below what's usually charged. Roll got a real bargain, whether you realize that or not. And as Mr. Anzavino stated, he's allocated 10 hours for a job that takes more than 10 hours. And we all need to pitch in and work together. He noted that. And working together, we can help and move this town forward. And again, thank you very much, Mr. Anzavino.
Oh, one other thing I might add, Mayor. I am not without flaws, and I will make mistakes. So bear with me if I do, put me on the right path, because, I don't know everything about this town, okay? It takes years to learn a community.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. We'll all do the best we can. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Now we're at reports of members of town council. Monica Chenault.
The only thing I can really report on is Facebook. I've been trying to keep that up, with our meeting notices. I did draft, the thing yesterday that is on the door. It's also at the post office. It's been on Facebook, since yesterday, but we also have every single meeting is already on there that we have, unless we change the date. We change the date, and that's very simple to do. And then we can just, post that as well. So it does have Mr. Anzavino's information, when he's going to be here, who all the council members are, and our projected results.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Wilkerson.
Nothing at this time.
Ms. Golden.
Nothing at this time.
Thank you. The mayor. The mayor received a letter of resignation from Andrea Erod, who was the attorney for the town, and gave that to Mr. Anzavino. The mayor received a phone call from Joe Fortune, as was reported, that the water line coming into town hall was frozen. I was in Fredericksburg, picked up some heat tape, some insulation, some other materials, $74 and change, and I gave Mr. Anzavino the receipt. And one of the action items is if y'all would be kind enough to reimburse me for that. Actually, it was total 7641 on Depot. Also, Alex Long and Nancy Long were very much honored to take Cleo Coleman to the Black History function at the Caroline Community Center. Ms. Coleman received an award there at that function. And the mayor was fortunate to sit next to Congressman Vindman. And I promised him to give him a book on the town of Fort Roll, which, and I gave him one of my personal books that was mailed up to him. I gave the book, but the town can pay the postage, which was $9. But his one of the gentleman that works for him said that he would be willing to attend a town council meeting, or if we have any issues for the congressman to address at a federal level, he's more than willing and happy to work on it. And it's not whether the mayor is a Republican or a Democrat. That's irrelevant. I like Mr. Anzavino's comment and try to stay neutral. And BDI focused on what's best for the town of Fort Roll and its citizens. When Congressman Whitman, who was a Republican, was here, he was great, and we worked with him. Vindman's a Democrat. We plan on working with him, and that will be great. And again, it's what's best for the town of Fort Roll, what's best for our citizens, and that's what that is. So that concludes my report. Consent agenda, we have no minutes for our January 24 meeting because that tape recording is not at hand. Hopefully we will have it next week. The minutes of the special town council meeting of 10 February are in the packet. And that really doesn't have much of any comment. It's basically a compilation of the resolutions which were adopted. Would someone like to make a motion to adopt the minutes for the special meeting of 10 February?
I make a motion, we adopt the meeting minutes,
Thank you.
February 10th.
A second.
Thank you. Discussion?
I'll send you Ken's last name to fill this in for that yellow line under it.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question, if
Yes.
I may.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm curious as to the recording from the January meeting. That was our last meeting, correct?
Actually, our last meeting was a special meeting, but the actual full meeting was in January 24, I believe.
Okay, so we're not talking about the special meeting, the
No,
minutes
ma'am.
of the special
No,
meeting. We're
no.
talking about the regular meeting.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I don't have that at hand. And again,
Okay.
the special meeting, that was pretty easy. That was just taking the resolutions which were typed out, given to all the council members, and just literally taking those and putting them into this.
That's fine. I literally forgot we had 2 meetings in January. Sorry.
Well, we had one in January and one in February.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
we'll have 2 in
Yep,
February
yep.
at the conclusion of this meeting.
You're right. Okay.
Any other questions?
No, that's good.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of adopting the minutes as presented? Well, we gotta go roll call. Ms. Chenault,
Yes.
Ms. Wilkerson,
Yeah,
Ms. Golden,
Yes.
thank you. The mayor says yes, votes yes, passed unanimous. Thank you. Next issue is the financials. Would note that the council members had questions about the CDs and allocation thereof. And that is, for better or for worse, now the mayor will take the responsibility for doing that. It's as though, you're putting your monies into like a mutual fund or, we have part of those monies are corporate monies and part of them are water, account monies. And what you just do is add up the, what's in the water account, what's in the, corporate account and just blend it all out. And, yes, we have different CDs, but, just add it all up together. When I was in my accounting class, I loved extrapolation. And, it's just simple, it's just a simple matter of extrapolating. And, again, look at it as like a mutual fund or something like that. Any questions or comments on the financials? Hearing none, is there a
I
motion?
have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, as far as the financials, whose name's going on what now?
Presently, at our January meeting, the council voted to put Monica Chenault as a signator at the Union Bank and Trust and all other financial accounts. And now that we have an interim town manager, one of the action items when we get down to that is to put Mr. Anzabino's name on all financial accounts and most especially the Atlantic Union Bank accounts.
Okay,
Yes, we will have someone other, we have to have someone other than a council member.
yes, okay.
Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, is there a motion to not adopt, but accept, we accept the financials? Mr. Golden, would you like to make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Ms. Golden, motion? Someone like to second the motion? And then we can get into discussion. It doesn't
I'll
mean,
second it.
yeah, it doesn't mean that we're concluded. Actually, we're supposed to do that before we even get into the discussion. But would someone like to second?
I did.
Monica Chenault, seconded. Thank you. Now we have discussion. We can discuss it, question it. And we'll get into this in more detail when things settle out.
I was just wondering, I usually can pick up on all this, I'm just talking. We have a negative net ordinary income.
That's because you had a negative, a disbursement of $18,000 of ARPA money, and your accountant, well, really, I hope that they would segregate out that ARPA money, separate it from, but it's not. If you look at your financial, there's $18,000 of ARPA money, and that's why the scales tipped.
And that was leading into my question as to, we have 9,000 left ARPA money? $9,380.44. Is that accurate?
I don't think everything's come in yet to pay for it.
It's,
I don't know where that,
the money is allocated, but it hasn't been expended yet.
Well,
Therefore, it doesn't show up as an
The
expense.
18 showed
there
up,
was
that's why we're
The
negative.
the
there was an amount of $54,000.
Okay, let's, excuse me, we'll get one person at a time. Who has the floor now? Angela Golden has the floor. Ms. Golden?
Yes, we did everything. There was a remainder of $54,000 that needed to be allocated by December 31st. So when we ordered things and did invoices, that's what we went off of. And we went down to the wire of the morning of the 31st to
Okay,
get everything allocated because the money was just sitting there. And we had to use it or send it back.
understood. And just these financials is a lot of fun.
They do. You know, what you really want to see is your budgeted amount for both revenues and expenditures, your monthly income, your monthly expenditures by category, year to date, where you stack up. So it needs to be corrected and improved for informational and transparent purposes, so people can understand it, because this is a business type of profit loss statement, and I'll talk to the accountants about that, see what
Okay.
we can do about that.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
If Mr. Wilkerson were here, he would pat you on the back. True?
Yeah.
Okay, and I will too. Any other questions, comments on the financials? Is there a motion, any other discussion? Mr. Knoll? Ms.
No.
Wilkerson? Ms. Golden?
No,
Thank
I'm
you.
good.
I just don't like negative numbers.
Okay.
When we get to the bottom, negative income.
That's, well, the model that they use, which is QuickBooks, that's what you get. And there's, by the way, there's many types of different accounting, there's government accounting, and then there's private sector.
But before, I think we just had to remind them, because last time we went through this before, when the COVID stuff came out, and they did separate it, so.
But Mr. Anzavino's gonna, right?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Let's see, we've had a motion, we've had discussion, any further discussion? Any further discussion? Hearing none. Then everyone's spoken to the issue, therefore we'll call for question. Ms. Chenault, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Wilkerson?
Yeah,
Mayor votes yes. Ms. Golden?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passed unanimous. Thank you. Let's see, where are we now? Financial report of the town attorney, Mr. Anzavino is working on that. Action items, 2-15-1. Continue or discontinue video recording of town council meetings. Would like to note that we are incredibly fortunate to have Jeff Boyd do this, and it's just as with Mr. Anzavino, who commands a much higher rate of compensation usually, and I think they just feel sorry for the town of Fort Royal and want to help. And the same can be said for Mr. Boyd, who does excellent work here. And we got him at a most attractive rate. It's not that it should be set outside these chambers for $150. And what it will do is, when we get our website up and working, the video can be plugged up to the website and people can see it
One thing you
and
might,
listen to it.
Mayor, if I might, and I had this conversation with Ms. Chenault yesterday, about live streaming meetings. Jeff, can this be live streamed?
It can, we have to set up a YouTube account for you.
That would be up to the council to consider
Okay.
that, but, you know, your citizens could see you in action.
Is there any extra fee for live stream?
It's an extra button.
Huh?
I think we could work with that, I think it should be fine.
But he charges much more for doing the same work for Carolina and King George counties and
Yeah.
all the different meetings.
We have had multiple requests for live stream through Facebook. Multiple people have written and they want to know what's going on with the town.
Thank you. Ms. Wilkerson?
What?
Any comments on the subject?
no, I'll go with everybody else. I don't think it's necessary, but if everybody wants it, then so be it.
Ms. Golden, any
I
comments?
don't think it's necessary.
The mayor thinks that it is necessary. It helps the community become more enjoined, invested in the town through its local government, and it helps. It really does help. Would someone like to make a motion that we can continue this for, say, a 6-month period, see how it works out? And try to live stream?
Yes, I make the motion that we continue the recording of the council meetings with the live stream that will be on YouTube and shared on the website and on Facebook.
Okay. Monica Chenault, motion. Is there a second to the motion? The mayor will second. Okay, discussion? Further discussion?
No, I think the price is reasonable and the public has asked for it.
And people are used to, unfortunately, sitting at home, watching things on TV, and that includes church services, synagogue services, right? They just like sitting at home and watching it. And again, if we can get more people involved with the town government and seeing what we're doing, and we might get suggestions and help. And that's, $150 is not really that much to invest for that type of reward. Having said that, does anyone else like to speak to the issue?
I'm not coming down on either side of the issue, but I would note that most local governments now do that. I mean, they do record their meetings. The town of Urbana uses YouTube. Bowling Green does the same. So communities in this area, small and mostly large, and all the large communities do it. So it's unfortunately, our citizens are information starved. The newspapers are going away on local reporting, unfortunately, and that's really sad. But this is a good way to, on a trial basis, just to try to reach your citizens on, see how it works, and if you get any comments.
Thank you. Well, I think it's time to vote then. No,
I vote yes.
Ms. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Thank you. The mayor votes yes. Ms. Golden?
So vote no.
Ms. Golden is. Thank you. The motion carries. For a period of 6 months, we'll give it 5, 6 months, and live streaming. Thank you. Next, any further actions on Royal Farms?
I've been in communication with them as you had asked me to follow up with them. And I've gotten 3 emails I've forwarded to you guys. So they did say that they had sent the meals tax for January, that we should be receiving it.
We've received it.
Yay. And they did say that they were following up on the cigarette tax to make sure that all of that was taken care of. So,
And we received their business license today.
okay.
On the cigarette tax, the Chesapeake Bay Regional Cigarette Tax Board, which is operated.
That's an action item down for.
Yep. They're operated out of Warsaw, and they do your collections. You've already decided that they would do your collections like they do for a lot of other localities, but Royal Farms is serviced by a private vendor, Cooper Booth, for tobacco stuff, and they go through the state. They initially didn't report their January sales to the tax board, and I contacted Jerry Davis to make sure that And they've acknowledged their mistake, and they've got the numbers for January, and they'll get the numbers for February, and it'll all come, you get everything from the time that I open the door for your cigarette tax, or your tobacco tax.
Thank you, sir. And I believe there's a check, I saw something from Royal Farms that came in the mail.
That was the business license and the meals tax.
And for the record, if anything looks like it's a check for any type of revenue, I do not open the envelope. I do not open the envelope. It's put into a larger envelope and then given to the town manager, Mr. Anzavino, and he is requested to open it, make a copy, post it, and then it goes into another envelope that's sealed that goes to Accounts Inc. But for good accounting, we have to have a copy of that and a record here so we know what went over to Accounts Inc. Does that sound correct, Mr. Town Manager?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Next, resolution to formally put Mr. John Anzavino on all town of Port Royal financial assets, bank accounts, accounting procedures, accounts incorporated functions, and all other institutions, including but not limited to Atlantic Union Bank. Does that constitute a motion? Would someone like to make that motion? Mr. Knopf, that means you're still on all the accounts, but we have to have a town manager on the accounts as well.
Mhm.
And the two of y'all should balance each other out and act as a check and balance.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I thought that council members could not be on the accounts because of the sensitive information that was there, especially the bank accounts, where the BPOL and the BPOL and people's people's utility payments and such as that. We're not allowed to see that.
Ms. Golden, on the business license procedures, I administer the applications which show the gross receipts of the businesses that they're reporting, what their tax is. And that is not shared with anybody else here on the council.
Okay, so why does anybody on council have to have their name on there?
Well, it's not administering the tax itself, it's the bank account. You have to have two signatories on the bank accounts. I'm a signatory on our accounts for the Middlesex Economic Development Authority, and I'm not the treasurer. We have a treasurer who has the responsibility of fulfilling all the financial responsibilities of the authority. I am the designated treasurer of the town by this motion, I guess, and I've been acting in that capacity already. I'm the only one that sees the checks, the business licenses, what the estimated revenues are for the business license. So
I understand all of that, but even if there's a statement, we're not allowed to even see that. I mean, I understand about the treasurer and the town manager. I guess before, since our town manager was our treasurer, but as far as I can understand, by law, no council member is supposed to be on there, period.
I take exception to that. If you want to show me where in the Code of Virginia that exists, well, actually, you bring that up with the town manager, but the fact is, this council already voted in January to put Ms. Chenault on. We're not.
I know that was not right. That was wrong.
That's your personal opinion.
Okay, I'll talk to the Commonwealth's attorney and see what he says.
That's wonderful. And
that's where we'll leave it. I'm not even going to argue that issue tonight.
well, wonderful.
It's unethical and it's illegal.
That's your personal opinion. That's your personal opinion, and that's fine. That's fine.
No, I don't usually put my personal opinions into things. That's how we got in this mess in the first place.
I don't know if I'm not going to argue with you on that.
Please don't.
But the fact is that we need someone who has the ability to go in and when the CDs mature to reinvest the CDs. We need someone who has the ability to go in and check the
Oh, I
balances.
understand. I'm not talking about everything. I'm just talking about the bank accounts. I'm not talking about
Well,
the CDs.
these are the bank accounts we're talking about. These are the
Well,
bank
as far as
accounts.
I know,
What,
CDs
when we have someone who's a signator and they have the ability to go to Atlantic
I
Union Bank.
understand that. I went to the bank when I went to the bank. I understand everything that's going on, but I'm talking about the bank accounts. The bank, you know what? I'm not, you know what? I'm not even getting into this because I got too much stuff to do tonight. I'm not even getting into this.
Okay, well, again, we're not asking to put a council, we already have a council member on the accounts. What we're asking is to put Mr. Anzavino, who is not a council member, on the
Oh,
accounts.
that's fine, and that's who should be on the accounts.
Okay,
Somebody that's not a council member.
pardon me?
Somebody that's not a council member.
Yes, we want to put Mr. Anzavino on the,
I understand that. I'm not retarded and I'm not stupid. I understand everything that's going on.
okay, thank you, wonderful. Any other, well, first we need to have a motion. Would someone like to make that motion?
I move to add our interim town manager to the bank accounts at Union Bank and Trust and any other accounts that may be appropriate or linked to the town of Port Royal.
Thank you. Is there a second to the motion?
Second it.
Ms. Wilkerson seconded the motion. Now we can have discussion. Is there any further discussion on this issue? Any further discussion? Last call. Therefore, let's see, Ms. Chenault, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Ms. Wilkerson,
Yes.
Mayor votes yes. Ms. Golden? Okay. And Mr. Carpenter is absent. Therefore, the motion passes. The motion is carried. Thank you, and thank you for caring. And that's sincere. Next, we have a motion, an issue rather, to reimburse Alex Long for $76.41 spent at Home Depot to buy materials to fix the frozen water pipes at Town Hall.
I'll make the motion to reimburse the mayor, but I want to bring up something in discussion.
Okay.
I second it.
Motion made by Monica Chenault, seconded by Donna Wilkerson to reimburse the mayor. Now we have discussion.
Does the mayor not have a discretionary fund?
Well, the mayor's at Home Depot and they don't take, I could write an IOU from the town of Fort Royal, but they don't take that.
I just wondered if you had a card or something. is what I'm
Nothing.
saying.
No.
I think that you should.
I
He's
really,
got an amount, but he doesn't like have a card. Do that.
Okay.
for a discretionary fund, and this can come out of the property, the town maintenance budget, but, no, the mayor wants zero access to any credit cards for the town.
But he does have a fund, so if, you know, he
Right.
spends something, you just take it out of that little
Yeah,
column.
you don't have to get approval before you spend. it.
Right. But this was, existential. It was,
Yeah, but we do need to move into the 21st century a little bit.
Any other discussion? Okay, any other discussion, last call? Ms. Chenault, how do you vote?
Yes,
Ms. Wilkerson?
Yes.
I guess the mayor has a vested interest, so I guess I should abstain then.
yes.
The mayor abstains. Ms. Golden, how do you vote?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, motion passed. Next is, we need to appoint a member of town council to serve on the cigarette board. And when someone says they will do this, they have to commit to serve on it. It's not that you say, sure, I'm going to serve, and then forget to attend the meetings or do what is necessary to be an active and participating member of that board. So I try to include some information on that in your town packet.
It's a,
They have a meeting coming up, March, 6th. And by the way, that's Zoom. So, who would like to be appointed to that board?
Their meetings don't last very long, and they're pretty quick.
I'll do it if nobody else wants it. So if you want it, please speak up.
Okay, Ms. Chenault volunteers. Is it, Ms. Golden, did you want to serve on the board?
No, I'm good.
Ms. Wilkerson?
No, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chenault. Motion to appoint Monica Chenault, Vice Mayor of the Town of Port Royal, to the Cigarette Tax Board. I'll make that motion.
I second it.
And Ms. Wilkerson, let's see, Mayor, motion, Tax Board. And seconded, discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Chenault, I don't think this conflicts you. You vote yes?
Sure, yes.
Ms. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Ms. Golden?
Yeah.
The mayor votes yes. That motion passed unanimously. Thank you. Next is discussion of meeting dates for November and December town council.
Can I add March, since Mr. Anzavino is going to be gone?
I guess we could. Hopefully the website will be up and working
Hopefully.
by then. By the way, this is a GoDaddy site. I've worked GoDaddy sites before. And it's been a while, but I can figure it out. We can communicate these changes. I'm just sensitive that we keep our public. But thank you for voting to have these things videoed and up on YouTube. They can figure out from that too as well. So what dates do you have proposed?
I had proposed the Friday before for all three of them.
So this would be instead of the fourth Friday,
It would be
it would
the,
be the third, excuse me, the
for those
third,
three dates, for
Okay.
March, November, and December.
March, November, and December.
What are those dates for November and December?
Let me go look on the, I didn't bring my phone.
I can do this.
Okay, because I have it on that notice out there.
It would be Friday, March the 21st, and then it would be
November and December.
November 21st.
Excuse me, is that getting close to Thanksgiving?
That's the week before.
Okay. And then December,
December 19th.
okay,
And that's why we are changing them, because it falls right at Thanksgiving and right at
Okay.
Christmas.
okay.
So we just went the week before.
Therefore, Ms. Golden made a motion that we change the Port Royal Council meetings. Well, we can at least get the motion up on the table, then we can discuss it. Change the Port Royal Town Council meetings to March 21, November 21, and December 19. Is that your motion, Ms. Chenault?
Yes, I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Is there a second? Is it, Ms. Golden, would you like to second the motion?
What's the month now? You said March, November, and December.
Yes, ma'am.
So that will be the third Friday instead of the fourth Friday?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll second that.
Thank you. Let me see. Monica, motion. Ms. Golden, second. Now we have discussion. Discussion?
I don't have my calendar with me, with when Melody's having her Thanksgiving and stuff. I don't know if it's gonna interfere. Probably not.
Any other discussion? Going last time, any other discussion? Okay, Mr. Knoll, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Wilkerson,
Yes.
Ms. Golden? The mayor votes yes. Motion passed unanimous, with Mr. Carpenter absent. Okay, discussion items, discussion of issues or actions, mayor brings up to Congressman Vindman's staff. I think we can put that off. Most important is, and discussion of priorities, I think, the town manager has gone through that. There is an action item that, we're gonna put on there, and that is, to authorize the town manager, Mr. Anzavino, to spend, and if we can give him a budget of, say, up to $900, to advertise for a town manager slash clerk slash zone administrator treasurer. And I, with having expressed an experience of doing over I thought I heard over 200 placement of these people to do these types of jobs. It's quite an experience. I think we can trust him to move forward with placing the ads in the community snapshot. Therefore, would someone like to make a motion that the town manager is empowered to spend up to $900 right now? If necessary, it might be more, but later, but up to $900 now, and move forward with advertising.
I'll make the motion to set up, not, up to, we set up to 900?
Yes, ma'am.
$900 to
At
allow,
this time.
at this time, to allow, the town manager to advertise the recruitment of a new town manager for the town of Bull Run.
Thank you. Is there a second to that?
A second.
Thank you. Golden, second. Discussion. And again, I'm going with, I've known Mr. Anzavino at least from a distance from his work at Caroline County and his work on the Go Virginia Economic Development site. And I've heard a most excellent resume and find that this town is truly blessed to have him. Those are my comments. Any other discussion? Any other discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Knoll, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Ms. Golden?
Yes.
The mayor votes yes.
That's to move forward with the
Pardon me?
That's to move forward with the advertising and recruitment
Absolutely.
immediately.
Immediately.
Okay.
Okay. Let me see where we're at. We're at 7:32, and I apologize to Ms. Wilkerson. In the future, this town council is going to take a break after about an hour and 15 minutes. People get up and walk around. Some people, it's good for their health to move on. But is there any other business to come before this town council?
Mayor, I'll pass out one more thing. I'll give you all, as I said, once I get everybody's email address, a weekly activity report. So I've got my first 2 weeks here. I'll just hand it out to you. I don't need to discuss it with you.
Right, and once you get our email addresses, you can email all this stuff.
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here's mine.
Oh, thank you so much.
Is there any other business to come before this town council? Is there any other business to come before this town council? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Wilkerson made a motion to adjourn. All in favor, aye? There's no discussion on that.
No, she seconded too.
Well, thank you, Ms. Golden. Okay, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
It's adjourned. Thank you.
She can't do that.